your stance on LGBTQ, it seems a change kakra. How eager you were for the bill to be passed into a law. Ever since the new government took position, now you are sidestepping a little bit. I say, oh, we mo de yam to your boy say more kakra. But akone de yam pass the bill into a law. What happened? Dear Reverend Lawrence Tete, what happened? Charlie, me ajimi, especially from opinion of that caliber, dear. I mean,
you don't know these streets like we do.
Lawrence Tete ho, mamira religion mukakra na. Doctor, Reverend, edini a Reverend Doctor, and a doctor neba and son a Reverend aba. Which is which?
Reverend.
Is it Reverend Doctor or Doctor Reverend? Reverend Dr. Lawrence Tete. Reverend Doctor. So that means say nyame adwuma ne ba first. Ansa na de ka won. Ko Bible no kra kan say, hwehwe osoro no, ahenie no, kane na de aka bia. What the be dey? What the be kan ho? Meboa. Enye sa na case ni tie. Until until Reverend Ebeba, definitely Reverend will be the first. Munini. Hello. Okay, young queen anymore enough me mouse information. So Moka LGBTQ who send some sorry a year 2024. Prior to elections, no. Mokai. Now Parliament pass a bill. Now, for a bill to become a law, it needs the signature of the president for it to become officially a law. Into Parliament, be di huwa bobo. Wambe dani asem na kwa asem num se o. Emra we ye de ba ebeboa. Emra we betima ba betie obi fa ahodie so. Emra we etata obi. Emma obi ani nye. Emra we eba society no ma na eba o man ni mu betima boa. Will it be perfect? What you say? Is it coming to correct something? The ills of society. The Parliament, but trans you do bobo. We can no objection overruled. Your honor, sir. No more ya no dey come president that for the signature account na fi edi adanemra. Enumu sansem nimu. And at 2024 elections, na election, prior to election, no, not just a campaign message of the NDC, of which Abranti friend Sam Nate George or MP for Ningo Prampam. No dimuntinti my pa. I think he actually championed the LGBTQ conversation. He championed it the most. Ghana, me you be aware NDC or can want some kese pa Sam Nate George. Or the China no ebona ben. Baby obejina bia no obo. Mokai said and say an twetwi. Samokai. Aha, Nancy and twetwi. But it is not even about Sam Nate George. It is about Nkrofo mo twetwi in the same light. And people are calling out Reverend Dr. Lawrence Tete on LGBTQ plus Monsensem because there's a video of him prior to the election 2024 saying, Ghana is being hypocritical. In fact, the president and some clergymen are being hypocritical about the LGBTQ bill. Or failing to pass it into fruition, or to pass it as a law. Okay. And the amount for so the minute say, Rev, Father na nsense men e call so as ene de o ka bi free because na see our kwatra Metro TV na Metro TV nsem o kan it's quite contrary to the okan wo eye 2024 asama o kan say people should now not politicize eye LGBT hu nsensem na man for say wo Father Anyone and see who can say 2024, who can say, you are disappointed in the president, you are also disappointed in the clergyman. Anyone okay? Nothing as see the well, if you ask me, and here's my editorial piece on it. Producers always have video now, but have video, that exact video, not this one. We create a different conversation. That exact video and what he said. Because me editorial piece and met my signer, I'll give Reverend Dr. Lawrenc Tete a small window of escape. Small window of escape, say. He's saying, one is him expressing disappointment in sub bill no entimin call into law and how some clergymen are not active and as a proactive towards pushing or ensuring that bill becomes a law. That is one side of it. The other side of the conversation, I'm for person say, oh, you hypocrite. Essay. Do not politicize it, because more politicize here, we might not get the true meaning out of it. Because he still believes that society frowns upon Sanyama Wemunina. Especially our society, the Ghanaian society, he still feels we frown upon it. So do not politicize it. That is the video. But what's our video now? Exact video now. Wait to my boy, let me get to you that video, because it is very, very crucial to Asama Yekan. That video is very, very, very crucial to it. Sans and Semno, or Metro TV. No, call Metro TV, I know kwa interview no. Epie by. Na ombusa and say wafa. Say your stance on LGBTQ, it seems a changey kakra. How eager you were for the bill to be passed into a law. Ever since the new government took position, now you are sidestepping a little bit. I say, oh, we mo de yam to yebo asem mo kakra. Ba kono de yam pass the bill into a law. What happened? Dear Reverend Lawrence Tete, what happened? Open me the video na ama osisi. Dey na si ye. E was a trijamasia amantumpayande. What happened? That is what people are asking. Yeah, Bible boss a video no. After that, there's also something will make his statement be whilst addressing the LGBTQ, because he's known for an annual conference where this nonsense must stop. I don't know if you're familiar with the conference, the annual conference now. It happens every time on the birthday, so I think in a month of May or so. This nonsense must stop. And this nonsense must stop. No, campaign or it's a conference where he addressed some of the absurdities in life. Now, in talking about some of the absurdities in life, he made mention of, or he touched some very, very crucial point. For want of a better word, it's chenipum. Mamen can say it's chenipum, cause meka tribalistica, too deep kakra, but it's chenipum. Mr. was the first video na ready. I the infantum na fi arefo enhwewi ne entoaso.
But how much the Jubilee House? How much the Jubilee House? I think it's about time we make politicians know we voted them into power. The cowardice that Christian leaders have been made to and religious leaders have been made to is a shame. And I'm embarrassed with some of our clergymen. As much as we are interested in our titles and the big titles and who we are and how long we served, I'm yet to hear certain people speak against these manners. And for me, that is a shame.
A few moments later.
And I am appealing to politicians not to politicize homosexualism.
The hypocrisy!
Because if you don't take care in a bid to try to be politically right, we'll be offending people who love us dearly. And I have a saying that the people who love you, don't hurt them. And so let us think about the welfare of them. Let's also know that the religious even community, and not just the religious community, the traditionalists, the cultural, and our kings and our chiefs are also against it. So let's find a place well in our heart to make sure this bill doesn't become like what it became the last time. We wish President John Dramani Mahama well. He's somebody that I will not hide away from. I know him very well. He's my good friend. In fact, you can say you don't have his number. I have his number. And I'm not ashamed to say I have his number. He's my big brother. Do you understand? Yeah. Somebody I revere. And sometimes you have a relationship with somebody. I'm praying that God helps him to get the people around him to build him to that capacity where he will come to that place and know that the God of the assemblies of God he serves will protect and support him, definitely, regardless of what his station is.
Assembly. Yeah, assembly. And to say the memano window. Ah, on fait une femme. Window no on fait une femme no. Say. To say the mechanic. Bakono expressing disappointment in the delay of the passing of the bill. And Abako, another statement so expressing concerns around and say a politicizing and we might not get the true meaning out of it. So two different things. However, by saying say a politicizing, some would also try or would also want to interpret it say Unya that agent, as I say there, because first one also obey Machako, and I'm part of one TB. Mutibi. So also obey Machako, your friend saying, Flagstaff House, Jubilee House, Wanka. Say the other announcement, me am politicizing. Now, people who love you, don't hate them now. Father, wait there, Brabim. Why? Brabim now. Betrim, because Omon Tiasi. What I say, me te wase, but I'm on phone tiase. Into with the Rev Dr Lawrenc tete, Brabi Trimbim. Now, okopia mu o Metro TV. To say the American. Oko Metro TV no. Oko ka asem bi wo ho. Now in addressing it no. Wasako tia another line mines, we tia land mine for froso. I mean him say in the coming week I'm for betima so ne mene. But before that, me pesi tia asem o kan it is about that this nonsense must stop. A conference or every year around the birthday, no. UTV, me that's it. UTV no koye. UTV. Say UTV. And I make a TV. Metro TV. No, the first one was at Metro TV though. First one I heard was at Metro TV, but this one is at UTV. Now UTV in sense, so real quick, respectively, because he made mention or he stepped on another landmine. Pacho bo video nafi. Young quiet
God gave to me, the absurdity of life. This nonsense must stop. It's not only about LGBT. LGBT is one of the nonsense. But that's not the only nonsense that must stop. One of the nonsense that must stop was what I spoke to you about this morning. That you sit here in Accra and speak only Twi and you don't speak the Ga language. It is not fair. Absurdity must stop. What is this nonsense must stop? This nonsense must stop is something that is not right. This nonsense must stop. Certainly, if we want to term it on LGBT terms. My good friend and brother Moses Fuamane made an analogy the last time. I love it. He said, if you say it's your right, put this water in your ears. If you are thirsty, where do you drink from?
Your mouth.
Yes. So if you put it from your ears, are you not mad? Is it not inhuman?
Of course you can't.
Now, you know what? I said this nonsense must stop. I said we no kafa. So what in crying? No, I didn't say cheap and abesoka. It is not fair. This nonsense must stop. A landmark is here pan opinion in Aquacutiaso. A landmine. And I've been trying my best ever since I came across this video to try and understand him, and I've been searching online to find out say be our kasa same way breaking it down like extensively. Said the met a point and I see I'm trying my possible best to get information, and I will entreat everybody who's watching me right now to say link be share that with me. I want to understand him, because on the surface what he just said, what we all just listened to, nature say se wo nkran mamu a wo se kwan bia wo be fa so abeka nkran kasa no e wo so fa so kan. Se wo te kasa no, se wo nte e wo so kan. If you don't, this nonsense must stop. Land my way up in so na no a thing. And I want to choose my words well. Number one, because he's an elderly person. Number two, he's a man of God, a religious man, as a matter of fact. As to if you believe it or not, I know you're awesome. But media or your penny into media need to be man to make choose me words here. Reverend Yahweh said there's a radio station, Ewo Kumasi, a friend Zuria FM, a can house ampe. Is he aware? Is Reverend or Yahweh na? Ana unim. Unimo. What's it? Opacho. Wow. See, sometimes doors be or what medical can. Ubia on. Just be ready for Niame be piaba, because Niame be piaba endless. Doors of religion, tribe, and as you see, fan base for Ababeka. Of course, politics. Account. These doors. Say, be rest assured, say, the things that will fall out, you yourself, you go weak. So it's best that you don't open it or be ready. Same way. Senka kumasi ni bi anasa santini bi ne kan ya. Sa same way. Kie kofa asofu bi ewo kumasi ena o kan ya. Mebusa comment section. I want to read comments on this one. I really want to read comments on this. Maybe I'm taking it too extreme. Maybe I'm a fat man media cost road do. Sasem we. Se sofubi ana influential person bi na gina Kumasi na oka sasem we say. This nonsense must stop. Who Kumasi was so cast and take us up here. We're sure say Ghana hanke bekwa. And what he was saying on that faithful day in the interview, ASA, he has issues with a broadcasting or a media house in Accra that is broadcasting predominantly in Twi. That is it. That is the complaint, no. But Reverend, are you also aware that there is a radio station in Accra called Obonu FM that broadcasts predominantly in Ghana? Are you aware? Say Obonu FM or there's even Obonu TV. Me pacho. Someone it was GBC. Obonu TV or Obonu FM or. Have you ever heard any other group of people complain that their language is not being used in broadcasting? Have you ever heard it? Charlie, really, this nonsense must stop. It is language. It is nothing but a language. A simple form of sound that is used to communicate That is it. Sounds are nkrofo bi di kasa kire omo ho. Simple. Enye bibia biem. Language sound a ye de kasa kire ye ho ne ho eno ano no. Where is this thing coming from? Where? And this is not the first time that I've heard this. This is not the first time I've heard it. Rich Label say, I think you are making it more dramatic and tribalistic. No problem. Me pato se uti asem na papa ne kan ni biema. Would you be okay? Would you be okay if say your whole language awote? Me nyame adaro ma me te languages kakra. Me ka twi. Me ka friends and brofo. Na msaka patwa. Yo, yeah, man a lyricist, brother. Man a lyricist. Man a lingua, me chante lingua no. What you say? But don't you think it's a little bit off for you to say if a media house ewo in Kenya, you are advocating that they should broadcast in a certain language or in the Ga language. See, media houses, and this will lead me to my next story. Media house bia ewo ni demography ewo nkrofo target yom. So a media house called Despite Media established Peace FM and decided to broadcast in Chi to reach the Akan community. Ochusu bako eno broadcast wom. Media House BTC Multimedia Ghana Limited established Joy FM. No say media me kan brofo. Brofo na me kano. It's because I want to reach people of a certain sector. Enti unko school now unte brofo, there's no way Joy FM you can listen to it and appreciate it. In fact, wako school mpoa na unim niema bi nti niema bi ase, there's no way you can listen to Joy FM and City FM and understand them. There's no way. Because Bernard Avle betra ho the economies of scale ne nsema obeke kanu so unsua de nru ba bia, you will not understand it. He will try to dumb it down to the lowest level, but still you will not understand it, especially when he's speaking on economics of all issues of the economy. You might get him a little bit when he's talking about some of the day-to-day stuff. But let them open up a conversation about friends and infrastructure on Joy FM and listen to Akuto Boateng on it. If you've not schooled to a certain level, you will not understand it. Have you ever tried telling them, say, on crying to you, bring your conversation from Brofu to Ga? Have you tried telling them that? That's because it's a private business. And they are reaching out to a sector or a group of people. You remember the Obake issue? How different is this from Obake? How different? How different is it? How different? Bro, Charlie, this is big 2026. We are connecting to the rest of the world. Until there are apps on your phone that you can speak in your language and it will translate it to another person for you in their language. So, what is this about? What is this really about? I think it's becoming one too many. And I am only concerned about this because of the influential figure of a reverend doctor, a leader of a religious body, who also sees things in this perspective or in this light. Nobody has gone to Obonu FM to ask them, say, I don't know, Moka Gape. Or in Kumasi, nobody has gone to Zuria FM to ask them, Sada Namoka House up, Mu Kumasi, Sada Namonka. There's even one radio station here in Accra that broadcasts predominantly in Hausa. Mirefi 103.7 or so. 103.7. It's here in Accra. Hausa Penomoka. But Obianko can't answer. Don't you think, sir, Basana said, why you fixated on a group of people? Ya track akwaba, ose one crans as sunti yanko paper and for back and mebo. So I ask, am I being too dramatic? And it's becoming one too many? I'm only asking. But your fancy I see, because and then some the dorsal. Charlie, me Ajimis, especially from opinion of that caliber, dear. I mean, you should. Before crying, I was all tears here. The entire private business, but I could frequency. Do you know how much a frequency cost? I could frequency at top. Your friend saying transmitting equipment, at studio equipment, alpha presenters. Oh, a businessman no engage baby or per se ordinary business. Ne family sing for we and I'm a person mutie me. It was not a crime. Anyway.
You don't know these streets like we do.